Okay, I was talking to myself for a minute then. It's a while since I've done a live stream, so bear with me. Right, so we're currently on 25.7. The upgrade path, we need to be on 25.7. Patch release 9 or 11 to do the upgrade. What are we upgrading to? So we'll let this one go. It shouldn't take too long. So we're upgrading from 25.7 to 25.7, patch release 9 or whatever it is. 11, I think. Does that to say? I did the video on this the other day as well. So the upgrade path for 25.7 will likely be unlocked on January the 29th. Yeah, so we've got to be on the latest version of 25.7. Hopefully we won't be sat here all night waiting for updates to happen. Do we know if chat's working? Oh, hello, chat is working. Thank you for that. And just to make sure the chat window is working. So I'm doing this on Hyperland on Linux. So it's first time I've attempted to do this on Hyperland. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. We'll see how this goes. This is the first attempt I've done at doing an upgrade from 25.7 to 26.1. So this could go pear-shaped or it could go okay. So hopefully we won't be waiting for these updates all night. I do have quite a fast internet connection here, so... estimated time use. Not sure what you mean. Let me move out of the way, even the chat window. It's a while since I've done a live stream. Bear with me. Hi, Anne. Thank you for joining me. I actually expected to be doing this all on my own. Can I copy this? Let me copy that. You do it. Copy. We do that. Paste reference. There we go. So it should be good. Sorry about this. I should have got this to the latest version of 25.7 before I did this. You're going to have to watch a couple of upgrades, but at least we can see how it goes. And use this. So I had a problem with this thing. Yeah, no, it's not just you. Yeah, so I had a problem with this chat overlay thing. It works fine on Windows, but I ditched Windows a while ago due to Microsoft and them pushing AI everywhere. So I had to actually extract the Chrome plugin, make some changes to it, and throw it into Firefox. So it does seem to be working fine. That's good. So I was doing this anyway. I've obviously got to do updates for clients and things. So I'm doing the test upgrade. I was going to do a video on it, and then I figured, why mess about editing things and just do it as we are. This update does seem to have a few people concerned. And I know HostWatch had a few issues. Can I translate this to French later? Yeah, no problem. I'll best I can do is throw the transcript through ChatGPT and do that. I did that for the other video for you. I believe that was you that asked for it the other day. Oh, come on. So yeah, Hostwatch had an issue. Oh, that's good. Danger. Unexpected error. Check log for details. Oh, this could be a really short stream. What happened there? Nothing ever goes right. I knew I should have done this as a video. But at least you guys will see what happens. What are we on? 25. Oh. Whoa, wait. What are you doing? Where was it up to? 25. What was that warning about? No shit. Yeah, I think it was snapping config D, unhooking from etc. Not sure that warning was about. It was a bit concerning. Danger. As your Lost in Space episodes. You might need to manually. Don't need to worry about that. DNS mask. These are just standard FreeBSD port messages. What's that from? Python URL library. Strong Swan. Seems to have been successful. I don't know what that error message was about. Okay, so it is fetching the latest base. So this is why it's always a good practice to take a snapshot first, just in case something goes pear-shaped like that did. I'm not in the way here, am I? No, not yet. It's more fun when you do it live, and I thought, man, I'll do this on a live stream rather than just recording the video, because some people have said they've had issues, and yeah, we'll see what happened. We did get that warning. There's my brew. Okay, we've got quite a few people here. I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting to be doing this all on my own. 1 second. Critical upgrade, yeah, that's fine. See how it goes. Right, system's rebooting. So I'm doing this on Proxmox so we can actually see what's happening while this is doing it. Where's the screen? More concerned about that error that popped up. That's readable for you guys, isn't it? Let me get my head out of the way. So can't actually see any issues. Seems to have gone okay. Okay. Not sure what that error was about, to be honest. We should have a login prompt. Yeah, we do. I'll log back in again. Right, so we're on 25.7.11.9. So this is the one that you want to be on. So you can see that. So this is the one that you want to be on for the upgrade path to work for 26.1. So we're going to System, Snapshots. I'm going to create a snapshot. It's 25, 7, 25, 7, 11. What's going on, is it? That'll allow us to roll back should anything go pear-shaped. You can see, obviously, from the snapshots, I haven't tried this before. Let's go back into System, Firmware, Updates. Waiting for another process. I'll process update. Has anybody done the upgrade to 26.1 yet? Have you had any issues with it? Oh, I don't know. What's he doing? Okay, so 25.7 has reached end of life. So it won't receive any more updates. Just checking the screen to make sure my head's not in the way. So 26.1, these are, I'm not going to read through these release notes. I'll leave the link below to the full release notes for this. And there is a hotfix, which was released as well to fix a couple of issues. 26.1.1, I believe, is dropping next week. It's due to. But I have got a video on what to expect doing this, but you'll find out anyway as we do this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the upgrade. The firewall will download all firmware sets and reboot. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry about this, a second time. I was just trying to see what the upgrade path was. So you do need to be on 25.7.11, patch release 9 to get to 26.1. I'm a big fan of you and I watch your videos always, but I don't understand English so well. I appreciate if you had French translation in your video. I absolutely will do for you. That's not a problem. And I appreciate it. I don't mind doing the translations. It really doesn't take too long. I'll try and speak a little bit slowly. Being from Manchester, I can't speak properly anyway, and I do tend to speak quite fast. So I'm still trying to get used to this. I'm doing the videos. Some people are like, you speak too slow. Other people are, you speak too fast. And you can speed YouTube videos up and down. Amazing. Really appreciation. Yeah, so I wanted to do this anyway because I say I've got clients that are running OPNsense. I've been moving everybody away from pfSense slowly but surely. So I needed to do this, and I was just I come in the office to do the video tonight, and I was going to like release a video on Monday, and I thought, can't be asked running it through DaVinci Resolve, editing it, and doing all that business, so I figured let's all do it together. I wasn't actually expecting people to show up, so that's quite nice. How do I clear this? Where's that clear button gone? There. Okay, so I say sorry, hopefully we won't be waiting all night for this. I am on a 100 meg lease line here, so it shouldn't go too slow. Incidentally, did anybody catch the Q feeds video that I did? So I'd never heard of Q feeds before, and I just saw the plugin support that popped into OPNsense, so I figured I'd try it. So I did the video that kind of introduced you to it, so you know as much as I do, but I have left it running. And I had CrowdTech running and the Spam House feeds, which are both quite reputable sources. And I put Q feeds, which is a threat intel feed, on a lower priority to see if it caught anything that CrowdTech that CrowdTech or Spam House have missed. Let me just check where that's up to, actually. Yeah, so it's been running a week. Log into this. I'm not pulling a live system up for this. So it's been running a week and it's blocked 12,500 bad IP addresses. So as I say, CrowdSec's running for that. So CrowdSec's running first. Then we've got Spamhaus under that. And then we've got the Q feeds running last. And as I say, it's managed to block 12,500 IP addresses in a week. So I'm going to plan another video on this. Just to give the update on it so you can actually tell for yourself if those feeds are useful. What does that say? Can you show how to use divert capture mode on ID? I have no idea, but we can take a look. I had that video planned separately as well. Yeah, but while we're here, see what happens. So yeah, I did see a comment about that. So I do need to look into how that works. We'll see if we can have a look while we're here. I've just realised I'm streaming this in 4K. I meant to drop it down to 1080p. It's fine. We should be fine because the it's 100 up, 100 down, so it shouldn't get in the way of the stream. So has nobody done the 26.1 update yet? Have you all been waiting for me to do it? This is quite a huge ass download. Man, I should have brought some beer. I'll try Q feeds after. Oh yeah, you'll be surprised. Even though it's got a 7-day delay, what I should have done in all fairness was tried the free version first to see how that worked. I can do that video as well, I suppose, but I should have done the free version first to see how many that got. But I imagine, obviously, if it's got 12,500, and those lists will still be current, so better late than never. In all fairness, unless you've got services exposed, it's handy anyway to run it on your LAN. But it's not going to matter too much if you've not got services exposed anyway, because obviously all traffic is blocked inbound. But it can help just to run it on your LAN to prevent machines reaching out to dodgy domains. Unless you're doing something like that Claudebot. I don't know if you've seen that in the news recently. John Hammond did a video on it from Huntress about that dodgy malware. Just here to watch you kick the tires for me. Yeah. I was hoping somebody else had did it before me. I seem to do all the first OPNsense videos. I need to migrate to Kia DHCP first. Which way are you going with that? So, do you have static leases? The issue, you could always export the IPv4 static hosts. So you create your subnet first, and then you can export the static hosts and re-import them. Once you create the subnet on Kia, then you can re-import the hosts. You just have to create the subnets first. DNS mask is quite good as well. I've been using that because just through the setup that I've got here, like we use Microsoft deployment toolkits, and we've got some weird ass phones. To the DHCP options that I needed wasn't available in Kia, so I used DNS mask because it has more fine-grained DHCP option control. Yes, waiting for you. Yes, I'll break things first. This is proper download. Did the upgrade on Thursday and it all went smoothly, which was a relief. Yeah, so there's been mixed bags. Thursday. When did it come out? Was that Thursday it came out? I think the host watch was a major pain point for people. So I say they released the 26.1 patch, and then they released a hotfix for it. And it was filling hard drives up. So they've fixed that. And the 26.1.1 that's due next week should fix a lot of other complaints that people have said. It's always worth keeping an eye on the forums. So what does this one do? So January 28th. Yeah, so it was out on the 30th. So that's fixed a lot of issues there. But if we go into, where is it? Announcements. On the wrong page. I don't want administrative. 26.1 series. So it's always worth following the forum posts and finding out if people have having any issues before doing a upgrade on a system that's critical or going to cut your kids off the internet. Update fail here of Ghost BSD. Time to dive into. I've never actually used Ghost BSD. You may or may not know I am quite a FreeBSD fan. I run FreeBSD normally on my desktop. We're on Arch here just because hardware encoding and things is a bit shit on FreeBSD. So I need to use this for doing the videos. We move back to where we're up to. This is still going. We're good. It's in 9 o'clock. I didn't realize that this update took quite a while. There is no guide how to SSH into VLAN attached VMs, especially if private network firewall is set up. No guide for VLAN attached VMs. I'm not sure what that means or what the problem was. My internet is slow. It shouldn't be. Maybe I shouldn't do it in 4K if that's the case, but it really shouldn't be. So are other people having issues with me having slow internet? Oh, sorry, the 100 meg. Yeah, it is. Funny enough, I pay, what, about £350 a month for internet here, which is 100 meg at home. I pay a lot less than that, and it's like 1 gig. I think about £70 at home, and it's £350 here for the lease line. Going to test on Proxmox, but reinstall on my physical router later. Need to reformat for ZFS. Missing out on the snapshots. Yeah, ZFS snapshots are actually really useful. Testing it first is a good idea if you can anyway. This is taking a lot longer than... Oh, there we go. Thought it had gone pear-shaped for a second. No, it took time. I did a few days ago. Okay, this is the first time I've done it. I come here to do the video on it, so I wasn't aware how long the download actually took. Maybe I should have changed to a different mirror. Yes, I do have static mappings and I know about the export function. Just need to have a block of time to set up all of the VLANs with the static VLAN mappings. Saw this video and tuned in. Yeah, so they have made it where you can export the IPv4. I had to write a tool because there was no function to export IPv6 addresses. So I had to write a tool to do it for you, and then 26.1 came out and had that functionality built in. Well, thanks to Franco for that. Has the Hostwatch issue been solved? I believe so, yes. Can't remember which video covered it in. But yeah, lots of people were complaining about it in 25.7 as well, and it was filling hard drives up, and I believe that is solved now. See, when I do videos, at least you don't have to wait for things like this. But as I say, I had no idea it was going to take this long. So this is why them 10-minute videos that I do take me like 3 or 4 hours. Because I'm sat here waiting for things like this. When you guys get them, I tend to cut it out. And I have got some systems that are running on eMMC. So they've not even got SSDs in them, so that's going to take a long while. And obviously, because it's in UFS and an eMMC, I've not got ZFS snapshots to fall back on, so I'll just see if this works, and if it does, I can start doing them ones. Okay, that one went a bit quicker. Hopefully these packages won't take too long. Okay, so you can see installing ISC DHCP plugin. So I did cover that ISC DHCP has moved to a plugin. Where is it? Yeah, so we've got it here at the moment, but it is moving to a plugin. So it's detected that we're using it, and it's installed it. Okay, we're rebooting. Let's take a look what's going on. No, we're not. There we go. What's the different function between Kia DHCP and DNS mask? DNS mask could probably cover you, to be honest. I've been using DNS mask most of the time, and I've not actually had any reason to move to DHCP, to Kia. I think Kia's meant for more enterprisey type deployments, but DNS mask has been absolutely fine for me. What's this doing? Nothing, just saying rebooting. So this is obviously going to take a while when you do this. Rebooting. This is all I ever do, wait for computers. Yeah, so you can see all this on the console, but if you've not got access to the console, you're just going to be sat here for 10 or 15 minutes while it's doing this, probably. Yes, the 26.1.1 is coming out next week. The same day that 26.1 was released, there was an OpenSSL issue found, a security issue, which was just bad timing. So 26.1.1 should cover that security update for that as well. Can you show the migration of existing rules to the new rule set, especially floating rules? Why not? See if we get it installed first. So thank you for everyone that's turned up. There's obviously a lot of people curious about this. I was quite happy to plod along all on my own, like I do when I'm doing the videos. Failed to rename. I assume. So we're rebooting again, so I don't know how long that's been. But obviously, if you've got no console access, you're literally going to be waiting here, so just be a little bit patient while it's doing it. Okay, right, we're good. Right, so we've got 26.1. Let me snapshots. I'm just going to create a snapshot of where we are in case I screw something up here. Is it did it do the 26.1.1 or just the 26.1 then? (26.1_4). So it's had a few patches. Right, let's do the snapshot. Yeah, snapshots. 26.1_4. Just so we can revert if we need to. Right. I don't know what's on these firewall rules. Probably not too much. Nothing in there. Not even got much on the LAN, to be honest. So there's not going to be much to migrate here. And it's these things that are kind of awkward to edit, and this is what the 26.1 patch is trying to do, I believe. Let's see what happens here. Create a snapshot. Do not disable anti-lockout. I'm pretty sure that should be do disable anti. Yeah. Make sure you don't lock yourself out. Export the current rules. Export what current rules? Download rules. Rules new. Import CSV. Right, okay. Just bear with me 1 second while I do this. 1 minute. So rules. Migration assistant. Export current rules. Rules new. Import rules. Okay. So I did the export rules that it did then. I'm just browse for it to do the upload. Okay. Is that these? Sorry, so then I just did this export current rules. And then did the import. So now what's it telling me to do? Import the rules. Import the rules using the button in the grid footer, which is what we just did, and then remove all the legacy rules. Has anybody else done this yet? It's automatically done this actually. I've not actually got any rules to do so. Okay. So import using the bid, we've done that. Remove all legacy rules, and it seems to want to do it for us. Are you sure you want to remove all legacy firewall rules? Yeah, sure. Have they gone? Right, okay, so it's just remove the, not the automatically generated ones, the ones that we had here. So rules new. Do you need to update to 25.7.11.1 before upgrading to 26.1? Yes, you do. If you hit the update button, it'll make you upgrade to 25.7.11 first. The upgrade path is not actually available until you upgrade to the latest version, 25.7.11. So yes, you will need to do that. I need to click on inspect. Right. And we've got nothing in there anyway. I didn't actually have any rules set up on this other than the default ones, but I can't see the we're sure we had allow LAN out here. We've gone to new. Automatically generated rules. Right, okay. Okay, so let anything out from firewall. So because I didn't have any rules there, it's automatically done that. Let me make sure we still got internet connectivity here. Yep. Hi, solo IT for a company here that has a bunch of Nginx reverse proxy sites behind OPNsense. Yeah, Nginx reverse proxy is a great way to do it. I hope this doesn't ruin my setup when I upgrade in a month or two. If you're leaving it for a month or two, you should be absolutely fine by then. Gives you plenty of time to keep an eye on the forums, but in a month or two, everything will have settled down because everybody will be screaming out. By default, new rules are hidden. You have to choose the interface to show the new rules. Okay, you're obviously more up to this than I am. LAN, 2 interfaces. Alright, uncategorized 2. Oh, there they are. Well, thank you for that. Okay, that was, yeah, so you need to do inspect first. So select your interfaces, inspect, and these are the rules that have come across. I wasn't aware of that the first time using this, so at least when I come to do the video on it, things will go a lot easier. So yeah, select your interfaces, then do inspect. Just tick which ones you want to see. Move out the tree view. Exactly interface, LAN interfaces. Right, okay. Yeah, so they're there. Oh, okay, so it's going to take a bit of getting used to this new rule system. What did somebody want to look at? Lots of difference between key. Yeah, so our DNS mask I'd suggest for that. Someone asked me. Yeah, so we've got Kia, we've got DNS mask, was I not using? ISC, DHCP installed. Where's it gone to? Okay, so it is installed. Where's that gone to? I'm missing this here. Installed. Hey, got a question. Shoot. I can't actually see the what was I using for DNS on here? Okay. So it's enabled. We've got no ranges. Kind of weird. No. That's new, isn't it? Oh, this is what somebody asked me about. Is OPNsense better than pfSense? Which one has more features? Oh, good evening from Austria. All right, good evening. That's a loaded question. So both are built on FreeBSD. pfSense is weirdly running on FreeBSD current, which is FreeBSD 16, which isn't even released yet. But they tend to do that, but I'm sure Netgate know what they're doing. OPNsense runs on an actual supported version of FreeBSD. Kind of boils down to your own personal preference. I think some people say they prefer the interface in pfSense. It looks a little bit on the dated side to me. I prefer the interface in OPNsense. But because I've actually wrote plugins for it and some code towards OPNsense, I know how the back end of it works. And it's not just a better looking interface. It's using like a proper MVC architecture with the API. So it has proper API support. And a lot of the input fields are automatically in the back end checked for input sanitization and things like that. So there is quite a big difference between, it's not just a fancy interface. But again, they both run on FreeBSD. They're both using PF. It's just the interface that's running on top of it. OPNsense is better for API. You can do a lot more with it, with certificates for APIs and firewall rules and things like that. Is this? Why does this look different to... Oh yeah, so now this has changed. Now we've got destination NAT. So That's changed a little bit. We've got these, right, what was we looking at? Services, no it wasn't. Intrusion detection, administration. So yeah, pfSense versus OPNsense. I personally prefer OPNsense, that's kind of obvious. And I have been slowly moving clients off. And I'd never really used OPNsense until pfSense give everybody the free home license, and then they revoked it from everybody. See, like I said, that's personal preference. I actually prefer the user interface on here. I mean, one of the big things is it's got a search box. So just the fact that you can search for things is a lot easier for me. So like the host discovery stuff, for example. I don't know where it is. What was it under? So services, hosts, like I can't find it. It's not under there now. But just the fact that you can type in what you're searching for and find things a lot quicker that way is a bit easier for me. But I say they have put a lot of effort in the back end sanitizing how system calls are done, so how scripts are called to prevent input sanitization and things like that. We're going to get through this. Right. So intrusion detection, enable it. Divert IPS listeners 1. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Never use a search box. Excuse me. Yeah, so when they Netgate revoked the free license for home lab users, and I know why they did that, and it was because of all the dodgy boxes on AliExpress, which was coming with pfSense Plus. And they did leave anyone that already had a license so they could carry on using it. But then if you do a factory reset or you reinstall, you're going to lose your license. Putting things like this is a free version, obviously, of OPNsense, and we've got the snapshot functionality. This is a pfSense Plus thing. So it's a paid feature, which was one of the things that annoyed me enough to not only move from pfSense to OPNsense, but to write this functionality and then put it into OPNsense. Well, I initially wrote it, put it into OPNsense, and then the devs from DCISO cleaned it up and made it more production ready. But it's not hid behind a firewall, behind a paywall, and it's actually a really useful function, especially if you're going to do upgrades like this, which are kind of major ones. So that was kind of how I ended up moving across. And then I had clients that used Tailscale, and they weren't impressed because I've moved them across, and they didn't have Tailscale. So then I ended up writing the Tailscale plugin as well. And that's kind of why all this stuff came across. Let me go back here. Just waffling now. Intrusion detection, administration. That's the reason I know OPNsense, because pfSense revoked the lab license. I mean, yeah, that annoyed a lot of people at the time. But I say, the AliExpress vendors were pre-installing pfSense Plus and shipping it out that way, but they could have handled it differently, I suppose. And then when I did the snapshots functionality, the guy that owns Netgate actually accused me of stealing it from pfSense, basically copying the code and removing the copyright, which is, yeah, that pissed me off to say the least. Theirs was a C wrapper PHP extension, and I wrote Python code. They're completely different, not even the same, but I got accused of copying it, and the same with the Tailscale plugin. Right, so let's enable this. Divert IPS, listeners, pattern match, hyperscan is the best one I've found. So apply that. What rules have we got? So it depends on how you put in these. If you're hosting services, Fitch, we're honoured. We've actually got one of the But Fitch here, the actual lead OPNsense dev. What did you miss? We was discussing pfSense versus OPNsense, and I was kind of explaining how I ended up discovering OPNsense and then moving across because they revoked the licenses and things. One of the things, like people saying which is better, I would say it's personal preference, but I wasn't a fan of pfSense running the current version of FreeBSD. I wouldn't do that on a web server. I certainly wouldn't do it on a firewall, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. Right, so the intrusion detection, if you can run this on your WAN or on your LAN. So if you've got services exposed on your WAN, you can run it on the WAN. If you haven't, there's very little point because everything's blocked anyway, but you can run it on your LAN to stop things going out. Things like attack response, malware, mobile malware. These rules, I could do a video on these rules all on their own. So Netgate invented ZFS boot environments on FreeBSD. See, this was my actual issue with it. So the boot environments are a FreeBSD thing. Netgate didn't invent them by any way whatsoever, but they did write the integration for the web interface. So they charged for it, but they did put the work in to do the web interface integration, I guess. But the actual snapshots feature is just a feature of the underlying operating system, FreeBSD. Right, let me just, did I tick anything? Yeah, download and update rules. Enable selected, download and update. Why is that? Did I miss something here? Emerging threats. Enable selected. I don't use this on this version, so... Oh, now it's doing it. Snapshots work only on ZFS. Yeah, they do. It's a feature of ZFS. So the boot environments are not actually ZFS snapshots, but they do. If you're using FreeBSD, there is a way to get snapshots on UFS. You can actually do it, and Vermaiden's got some blog articles on that. What services should you run on OPNsense if you have services exposed? I have 443 through HA proxy and random UDP port for WireGuard. So that's pretty much all you should expose if you need to. Port 80 maybe if you're using Let's Encrypt, but make sure the OPNsense web interface isn't listening on it. Right, okay, now we've got them. So where is it? Somebody just asked, is the host watch thing fixed to stop hard drives filling up? I believe you have fixed that, haven't you? Right, firewall rules. We're in this new section again, aren't we? Where do these rules come from? We've got hyperscan. We've got the alerts. Do you set an alias up for this? I can't remember how you do it. Firewall rules new. Enabled. interface LAN. So you can pass it in any source. Is that it for intrusion detection? Do you not have to block it manually? I'm looking for the intrusion detection rules where you set them. Well, these are new. Is that just automatic? So policies, rule sets. All right, here we go. So we've got divert, policies, plus. I don't think there's actually anything you need to do. It's just, it'll handle it itself. Enable the rules, rule sets, emerging threats, malware rules. Affected products, we'll just leave them as they are. So drop. So once you choose what you want, where's the, yeah, there's nothing to actually do. For this divert stuff, I need to dig into this properly. But the rules are still the same. The actions are still the same. So DNS mask, DHCP ranges. If you're importing from here, you need to obviously create your DHCP ranges first. So for LAN, for example, right. So if you're using ISC DHCP and you've got your ranges here, then you need to create them in here before you can actually do the imports. And then we can do host, import, and then upload the CSV that you've exported from. I think you can also do it from Kia as well. And create a host in there. You can't just go, I believe you can go from DNS mask to Kia as well, and the import and export is the same for all of them. You don't need port 80 for Let's Encrypt. You can use DNS 0 on challenge. You can, depending on your situation. And wait, if you let in OPNsense, grab your Let's Encrypt stuff. If it's not OPNsense that's dealing with it, it can be a bit more of a pain. And if, of course, if you can actually manipulate DNS records. Hostwatch hotfix in 26. All right. Need the service restart if you landed on 26.1 initially. No, I'd just done the upgrade from 25.7.11 straight up to 26.1.4 at 26.14. So. Just updated my test OPNsense to 26.1. Love the changes to the firewall rule management. Yeah, it's certainly different. The fact that it's all unified and under the same things, and the NAT's changed. I mean, destination NAT. Oh, that's just the same settings. But yeah, this interface is a lot nicer. And adding your categories and stuff. Right, is there anything else we need to see from here? I've only been using OPNsense for a short time. What can you say about the ZenArmor home service? I've never actually used ZenArmor, believe it or not. They did reach out to me and ask me if I'd be interested in doing a video, and they would have provided me with a key and that to do it, but never kind of seen the point of it. So sorry, Kata, and block lists can pretty much do that. And I don't really need fancy graphs on a firewall. So obviously we're going to intrusion detection. We've got the suricati stuff here. The home version limits you as well to number of lists that you can have. I suppose it's handy if you want to block certain categories and people need paying to keep them lists up to date. But yeah, sorry, Kata does most of the stuff. With Q feeds as well. And CrowdSec, I've really never seen the point of it. I know you could use it for mapping your network out, but the new HostWatch feature does that. Interfaces, I can't remember where it is. Oh, neighbors. And that'll map that out for you, but I've never seen the point of having graphs in a firewall. Is there anything? I mean, this is just a basic upgrade and nothing went wrong for me. But I've not got minimal services on here. As I say, I will be doing more videos. But I'm going to be doing some IPv6 videos because people have been asking me how to set IPv6 up. I've not got many plugins installed on here. And I didn't even have many firewall rules because it's a demo system, but I wanted to see how it went and whether we had any issues. I think we're about good. Is there anything else anybody needs to see while we're here in 26.1? ZenArmor gives you layer 7 policies. The free version not worth it though, as you can't create any custom policies. Yeah, that's what I remembered. But they did offer to give me a license. But I've always used Suricata and Snort for all my needs, and I'm pretty sure mine are a bit higher requirements than most people. Especially because we've got some customers with some weird ass setups as well. Is there anything else I've missed in here? So as long as you create a snapshot, even if it goes pear-shaped, we can still roll back to 25.7.11 from here. If it wasn't what we wanted, and then wait for any updates that needed to be done, and then obviously we can jump back forward into 26.1. So the snapshot functionality is kind of really useful. How to select interface on ID when you use divert? I have no idea. Intrusion detection. So definitely selected divert. That's just the downloaded rules, user defined. Under here. That's a show. So by ID, I'm not sure what you mean. The rule adjustments. I had no idea what I'm doing in here. Why's that still going? Where'd that wheel just go? I actually don't know the ID stuff is. I don't think you might a tactic ID. No. I need to play with this and do a proper video on it. Yeah. No, it's there. That went there a minute ago. I mean by ID intrusion detection. All right, sorry. So obviously set the capture mode to divert here. Why does this keep taking so long when I press apply? So he was on about some kind of funky ID then, IDS, you mean? I don't know, I need to look into this properly. But the upgrade was successful. Are we good? Is there anything else you need while we're here? Sure, that went there before. So yeah, for those asking about the key, I've been using DNS mask for most of the stuff I've not actually needed. It's these. So this is more flexible than in DNS mask than it is in Kia. For the options, you've literally got a million different options that you can use. And there was a bit more restrictive for me when I was looking in Kia. I can't remember how to do the options on here. Load of subnet. See, the options are a bit limited compared to DNS mask. So you've got next server, TFTP server. The options just weren't there that I needed. There's DNS mask, and you go to DHCP ranges, and then the DNS option. There's just a lot more functionality here. Uh-oh. So this is why I recommend going to DNS mask rather than Kia at the moment. I mean, Kia's still under development, so. Right, I think we're about wrapped up. I just wanted to see how that went. Unless there's anything else anybody particularly needs to see while we're in here. So yeah, I do like the new Firewall rules interface. So they've obviously put a lot of work into this. Still curious why I can't see. This. Why is this missing? I just need a refresh or what? Come on. A firewall rule for allowing SSH into a VLAN tag, please. See, now that was weird. We still got fits in here. Yeah. So I did the upgrade to 26.1, and these options were missing. It did install the plugin, it said it was, but these were missing. I couldn't find them. I literally just had to remove the plugin and put it back in. I don't know if I've got anything configured on here though. No. Where's... So, firewall rule for allowing SSH into a VLAN tag. From internally or externally? So, obviously, your firewall needs to know about your VLAN, so it's going to have an IP address on it. So obviously your firewall needs to know about your VLAN. Assignments. Go into assignments, find your VLAN. I'll give it a description or whatever you want it to appear as. So VLAN, I think it's got to be 0.1, has it? Then enable it. Give it an IP address. This network cannot be used. What did I do? Idiot. So once you've created your VLAN, How do you reservation leases on DNS mask? Plugin still at VPS. Yeah, it just disappeared. The options wasn't even here. But it said the plugin was installed. It's kind of weird. So it showed us installed, but I literally had to delete it and then reinstall it for the options to appear. And it wasn't to do with the interface refresh. I did that. Right, so sorry, where was it? Interface is VLAN. So once you've obviously assigned your VLAN, you've got the address. It'll then appear in your firewall. And you can pass the rules here. Yeah, no, I was putting the network address in, not the IP address in. It's getting late, it's like 10 o'clock. I thought I was defining the subnet for it, I wasn't. Yeah, so if you wanted to allow traffic on your VM, then you just allow it in here. If you want, if you talking about from different VLANs or anything, pass in VLAN IPv4 and 6 from any to any. What was that? Will do. Not a problem. So I don't get what you mean by that. Is this what you're asking for? Because if you set your rules up on your VLAN to pass anything, then you'll be able to SSH in if you're not on the same VLAN from another one. But obviously switches need to be aware of the VLANs, and so does OPNsense. Yeah, that was a little bit confusing. Let me just activate that again. Oh, we're still on it. Never mind. So to move from ISC, it's showing up now as legacy. Where's the... Has this changed? Where's the... Oh, you did say the plugin's still on version 1.0. Where's it stopped? Can't bind to DHCP address already in use. Okay, I thought it started. It's because I have both DHCP enabled on DNS mask and ISC. Where's the static mapping's gone on here? Internally, especially for RSC 1980, it was before. I see this version 4 can show interface. Yeah, obviously you can't have them both running at the same time. Go to the interface form from which you want to reach SSH from VM from create a new with destination to the VM. Yeah. I'm looking for... I can't actually see the static mapping things on there anymore. VM is on VLAN 01. VLAN 01's a strange VLAN to assign for a VM network because VLAN 01's normally a management network. Well, no, that was, oh, you talk about me. I was just doing it for showing you how to create the VLAN. But for your firewall rules, if you need to allow, I mean, this is what I can't understand what you're trying to get at. If you're trying to access the VM from another network, where's the firewall rules? Use a new one and not the old one. Where's... So normally your firewall rules are like where's the LAN one? LAN inspect. So like normally your firewall rules are allow from LAN net to whatever. So on your VM you'd normally just do interface VLAN, direction in, version any protocol, wrong one. Why does it keep going down there? There's TCP, is that? So VLAN 1, action pass in, version IPv4, TCP, source would be in it, or LAN net, for example, just to allow SSH in from the LAN. Destination includes 20 port. Why are these ports missing? Not missing. So you'd allow in on VLAN 1 from your LAN net to any, or if you want to be more specific, VLAN all right, sorry, yeah, I got that. Yeah, I have done. It wasn't there, it disappeared in the thing, but yeah, you were probably right. So I mean, is that what you're after? I'll check the logs. The thing is that the ISC DHCP option wasn't even appearing after I'd done the upgrade. These wasn't here. Which shouldn't have had anything to do with this being enabled or disabled. If I enable that, then refresh the interface, it's still there. That should have been there after the upgrade. No, it was on the firewall rules. New. So is this what you was after? Hi. If you can make a playlist about OPNsense, everything about him, it's great. I've got a full OPNsense playlist. I think we're about done here, unless anyone needs to do anything. So I'm going to do a bit more research on this. I just dived right into it to see if there was any upgrade problems. And other than that, ISC, DHCP disappearing. I'm actually going to, after this stream, I'm just going to reset this back to the 25.7, do the upgrade again and see if it does it again or if it works that time. But I'll send the logs through as well. What time are we on? 4K monitor, I can't read the clock. 10 o'clock. Did you use Vultr? I haven't done. Probably know what it is, but I haven't done. We use other tools, so... Right, so unless there's any final questions, I'm going to go home and find my kids and my tea. But the upgrade went smoothly, with no issues. I just need to dig that log out and send it off. So the 36, 37 people that joined, thank you very much. I do appreciate you coming and sitting with me while I did this upgrade. I will be doing a proper video on upgrading through. So this was just me trying it for the first time myself and thought I'd share it. So I will be releasing one next week. I believe 26.1.1 is out. Well, due out then. Thank you for your Saturday evening. Yeah, thank you for joining me, and you as well. It's really amazing step here. I do watch your videos, but new to one. Yeah, no problem. It's much appreciated for everybody that actually joined me for this. it's a while since I've done a live stream, especially since I moved away from Windows and then using Arch and WLAN with Hyperland. It's been a bit of a pain to get things set back up, but we seem to be good now, so I will plan on doing some live streams in future as well. I think I've covered most things, so the only thing you need to know is when you do actually migrate, go into is the option here? I'm not just sure it is. I can't even see a static host on here. God, what did I set the password to on here? So I can pull the logs off in a second. God, still thinking I'm on FreeBSD. It just never worked. Turn that one, not turn that. I can't remember what it's set to. Wrong field. What was it? 10.22.1.100. Apply that. OPNsense 26.1 is out. That's the version I'm using. I've literally just done this upgrade now. That is the version that I'm on. Super Zoom, thank you for joining me. Still messing about here with where's the that does. I was looking for the export option. I can't actually see it. I go mad. Is the export option not in the plugin version of this? So yeah, export beforehand. And then you can obviously come into hosts and import them from here. So just make sure you've done your exports before you have to do the upgrade. But I'm about done here. This rule is above RFC 1918. I placed and is not working, getting connection resetter on terminal when I tried SSH. I don't understand what you're trying to do here. But thank everyone for joining in this. To say I will be doing a video probably Monday on the going through the full upgrade. I will be doing videos on moving between DNS mask and ISC and Kia. and whatever else we need to cover. So the new firewall interface is probably going to want one. See, when I went into firewall, new, and I added a rule here. If we go into the old one, I had a rule on here. This port range, so doesn't seem to be on here. So protocol IPv4 into any. In fact, we said to UDP, for example. On the wrong one. Ports any. So if you do it through the other option, you get a drop-down list. It's past interface in direction TCP, IPv4, protocol, TCP, source, any, advanced. This list, let me clear that off. So this list isn't on this well-known ports, doesn't seem to be on the new rules. Is this me missing something? So source destination, any source port. Oh, it is a bug. Right, okay, thank you. I was looking a bit stupid then trying to set this up. So yeah, when you use the new firewall rules and you go to port, like normally you'd be able to select SSH here or in destination. Oh, hang on. This well-known ports list is not populated, so unfortunately I'd have to do single port or range and then put 22 in. So that is a bug. See, aren't you glad you joined? Where was the old one? We've got this well-known ports list. Get off. Was they on the other one? Fitch, you seen this? No interface option? Is that because I need to select it first or something? Oh, sorry, it was me being stupid. It's getting late. I've been at this since like 6 o'clock this morning. So we've got all the bog-on aliases and stuff, but we've not got this well-known ports list. Lazy devs. Yeah, something else for you to add in next week. What I'll do is I'll send the logs across to you so you've got them. But right, I'm done here. I need to get my arse home and say I've been at this since stupid o'clock this morning. So thanks to everyone that joined up. Keep your eye out for the videos if you're not already hit the notifications icon, or at least subscribe to get the new OPNsense videos. And as always, keep an eye on the forum. You can see what issues people have been having, but if you look at the announcements, 26.1, and just keep an eye on these 26.1 announcements. I'm sure he'll be putting another hotfix up soon to fix that firewall list. Lazy ass. But I am done. Thank you all so much for joining. I'll catch you next time. Can't figure out how to end the screen.